Hello again. This time I would like to talk about Anthropic. Wow. Things are getting really weird and I'm noticing a pattern. The word safety is picking up volume a lot in the narrative, in the Twitter sphere and everywhere around it. I don't know. I think it's kind of expected to at some point see some sort of data leak or something like that, especially now with these open claw and stuff like that. That could literally be the pin that pops the bubble. So be careful, guys. Don't put your data up there. Remember that it goes to some server that you don't control, that someone else is control, and maybe they are, very thorough with their, way of doing things and stuff. They have like a cybersecurity team, blue team, red team, or whatever. Everything is fine, but first of all, you are trusting strangers with your very, 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 very personal data, and that could be hacked. Maybe they are in goodwill, but simply, shit is the fun and something goes wrong, and then your personal data is out there in the internet, in some dark web website sold for peanuts, and all of a sudden your identity has been stolen and your kids' pictures are online and stuff like that. That's really, 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 really bad. And I know that there are people that are all in on these things. They are probably, I could say, reckless. It's not just simply organize my email, like, I don't know if it's true or not, if it's a joke, but there's this woman from the AI safety team at Meta that basically had OpenClaw organize her email, and at some point it started deleting emails or something like that. And she was like, stop, and OpenClaw kept doing it. I mean, it means that, the tech is still very, very young. Of course, it takes like an update to add like a kill switch kind of thing, but it is what it is. Imagine that there are also people that instead of just letting OpenClaw handle their email, they also put their bank accounts there, their business, everything, in the name of efficiency, which I get. Maybe you think, I can fire my VA from Philippines and I have OpenClaw doing things for me. I get it. It can work for you at night, 24/7, do all sorts of ridiculous things and sending you emails and reports and research, all these beautiful things, but we are still very early. And also, don't forget, as I said earlier, this data goes to the server, someone else's computer, and it's definitely getting trained on 100%, no questions, there's no doubt about it. They could say no, it's never gonna happen, but it is. Your interactions with the models are training data. You are contributing to the improvement of these models. And I'm saying you, but also I am as well, obviously. But you need to choose what level of privacy you want to sacrifice in the name of productivity. It's also things like, think about Notion, think about GitHub, and the various SaaS where there's a database, essentially, and you connect to it via APIs, and there's an app, and you put your data there. So everything that you put in Notion, it's on Notion servers. Everything. All your code, even if it's in private repositories, is on GitHub servers. What do they do with the data? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. And that could be hacked. There might be some, I don't know, like not very good actor within the company that is maybe looking for something specific by keyword or whatever, and then he finds it in your repository and he just copies it. And again, one can be romantic, I think, and think that, oh no, for sure these companies have systems in place that would detect if there is a rogue actor within the company that is trying to do some dodgy shit. That's incredible if it's true, and I hope it is. But even if I have some of my code on GitHub, there are some repositories that definitely are not there. I could argue the majority of my repositories are totally private. Everything is backed up, encrypted, running on private Git instances. Why not? The tech is there. It requires a little bit of infra knowledge to set it up. It's not rocket science. And you can have everything working, like your CI/CD, everything. Yes, it's a different workflow. I mean, GitHub is more mature in integrations and stuff, but you can do some incredible things. And now with AI, wow. I'm planning to move basically everything off GitHub and stuff very soon. Just because, what's the point? I'm standardizing around these processes, so I will just move everything there. And as per the models, in a way it's similar. I would really like all my inference to be local, all of it. And I would obviously stay up to date with the open source models. I would probably do some training as well myself. Yeah, there are some very cool things that you can do when you own the data. Even your own conversations with the models. Imagine simply you have a problem and this problem is really bugging you, and you have a long back and forth with the model, multiple conversations, and in the end you succeed. You guys, as in you and the LLM, finally you agree on the solution that works, the code works. That bunch of conversations adds value, because if you encounter the same problem again, obviously you can save a lot of time and energy just by going straight to the solution. That's like a lesson learned, so to say, and you don't want to lose that. So there are some ways to achieve this, even if you're using like Claude and other state-of-the-art models from OpenAI, Anthropic, etc., Google, etc., with hooks, and you can create a proxy, you can do crazy things. But once you own the whole vertical from your keyboard down to the line of code and the inference in between, you're done. You need compute, and that's literally the bottleneck right now. We need to solve compute, but compute will be solved. It's a matter of when. It's a matter of how expensive you want your experiment to be, and also how early you want to be, which is kind of the same thing. As in, timing is everything, like in all things. So yeah, I am investing in that. I'm not doing crazy things. I'm not gonna be on YouTube say, oh, look at my Mac Studios, blah blah blah. No, I'm just gonna be scrappy and quiet, make mistakes, learn and try again, and buy and sell stuff and try again. This is what I want to do. This is what I did in the 90s with my computers, and with the computers that I used to assemble for family and friends. Always building things. It works, I'm not gonna do like a video like PewDiePie about my GPUs. No, because I think we can talk about more interesting things. I want to see your videos. I want to get inspired. I want to inspire you guys with my conversations instead. These conversations by the beach, in nature, early in the morning, breathing fresh air. Conversations that I would have even if it was raining right now. I don't know how the audio would be, but I will still do it. Because I'm trying to teach a lesson here. I know I might sound a little bit condescending, but no, what is the word? Like if I'm preaching. I mean, I'm old. You can consider me like this old dude that yells at the clouds and just, let me do it. The smell, I wish I could share with you guys the smell of the breeze. It's so good. Anyway, just stay safe out there. Don't put your data in the cloud. Change your passwords often. Change them again today. Your code, if you're building like this SaaS that you think is gonna change the world or make you money, just launch it. Be fast. Just launch it. I'm saying this also for myself. Just launch it, because your code is already out there. Someone else one day is gonna be like, oh, nice. Has this guy launched this? No, I'm gonna do it. And I don't know if it's a coincidence or not, but I've been developing things, I'm talking about like more than a year ago, that then I gave up on, and then I saw the exact same things being launched. I mean, it was probably inevitable, but who knows? Literally the same things. Probably it was inevitable, let's be honest. But it still makes me think. It's just realistic to think that it's a jungle out there, guys. So yes, consider the fact that Anthropic got sued for scraping data from all over the place, and now he's pointing fingers at China for supposedly doing the same with them. But I think it's the same principle. If data is accessible in some way, it can be trained on. Think about this. You can access it. It can be trained on. It could be anything. It could be a website, could be a book, could be another software outputs, could be API calls, could be anything. Pictures, audio, anything. And as we speak, it is being trained on for whatever reason. There's always a niche for everything. So yeah, I think it's very emblematic. Anthropic, safety. Now Dario Amodei has to talk to Secretary of Defense or the Department of War, whatever it's called. Okay, it makes me think a lot. The whole thing. China as well has been mentioned. I don't know if it's scaremongering, which could be, but it makes me think. What do you guys think about it? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Let me know. Speak soon. Bye, guys.